Hey, what's going on, guys? Just leaving the gym here. Had a real good workout. Hair's going all over the place. Sweating my ass off. Just want to hop on here because just really excited to talk about a couple of things. One is trying to understand personality types. I'm just getting in my car here. Understanding personality types. If you're working with other people,
Work for life in general. You know, one of the worst things is to either get into business with someone, have a job with someone, or get in a relationship with someone, any sort of relationship, and you don't really understand who they are as a person. You don't understand personality types. And I just want to preface this with it's not judging people, it's just understanding how the human mind works and how other people work and how other people function. one of the one of the really basic things, one of the best things to start with is to understand that most people are generally selfish, right? And I don't mean to say that in a negative connotation, but most people are selfish because their brain's wired for survival. The human brain is thousands and thousands of years old. It's always going to do what it thinks is necessary to protect itself, right? And so that's always subconsciously you're going to be looking out for your own self-interest, just to preserve a life. Very rarely are you going to find someone that's outside of that realm of thinking, and they program their brain, they train their brain to think in a completely different way. Man, I'm sweating here. It is hot. It's it's only 80, but I got a black car and it kind of bakes in the sun. So had a had a real good workout, had an awesome workout, and then got me sitting in one car. So understanding personality types. How do you understand personality types? Well, you can say personality quizzes and personality tests. You can understand the dark triad, which breaks personality down into narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. And it'll give you a score. And the higher the score, it's like golf. The higher the score, the worse. So if you're in a relationship with someone, you can do it for yourself. You can take this test, this quiz, and just understand their self-interest. But that isn't always practical before you get in a relationship with someone. But once you start understanding, sorry, once you start understanding different personality types and how people act and how people function. So if you take the quiz yourself, if you take the test yourself, and you understand the different levels and the different types of personality traits that people could have, and that's not the only test. I mean, there's hundreds and all sorts of different things. You probably heard of the Big Five, and all sorts of other ones that are out there. And that just try to break people's framework down into different personality types, and you can try to understand them better. But for me, just understanding how people function and understanding how some of these things are broken down. So I'm just sticking with the dark triad test for now because that's the one we started on. You can choose your own different sites and decide for yourself what works and what doesn't work. But this is all backed by science. This isn't just my opinion. This is all science based type thinking, and it's kind of a touchy subject for a lot of people. And really, the human brain is so complex. They say it's so complex, and they say it's more undiscovered than the deepest parts of the ocean and the deepest parts of space that we hardly even understand. The human brain, the way it's wired, and so many complexities to it. But just scientifically breaking down personality types. So sticking with the dark triad, you break people down into narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. So narcissism can be broken down into other subcategories there, same with Machiavellianism, and same with psychopathy. And they all serve their different purpose. But on the general level, narcissism. So narcissism is basically being self-centered, thinking more of yourself, um, thinking you have a higher value than other people. And you can break it down into other subcategories, and it's not terrible to have some sort of self-interest. Like there's a subcategory of narcissism that's called vanity, and vanity is like I like to look in the mirror, I like to look at myself in the mirror, I like to make sure I look good for other people. So that is a form of narcissism. That's not as bad as some of the other subcategories of narcissism. So you can definitely dive deeper into it. Machiavellianism, if someone scores high on Machiavellianism, they tend to be sneaky, right? They tend to um, there's a book out there, how to be, I don't know, a lot of people that are persuasive, right? And some people that are good at selling tend to be score higher on Machiavellianism because they're sneaky and they're cunning and they try to manipulate situations without the other person there knowing or with trying to convince them to see otherwise. So they try to be sneaky about what they're doing and how they're doing it. And this that's one that really, 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 really got me because there's a lot of quote unquote successful people, financially successful people. There's even a lot of people in relationships that tend to be sneaky. They sneak around, they cheat on their spouse, they do shady things like that. There's successful people in a sense of financial wealth because they can be really sneaky and they can manipulate people really easily. And this is something I really had to learn the hard way um, by being manipulated by other people. And my own personal situation, how I started to understand this and how it really, 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 really made an impact on my life is because I had a mentor, you could say, right? And this certain individual. See, Machiavellian people that score high on Machiavellianism tend to be very charming and very sweet and make you feel really good because they know how to get their way. And an easy way for someone to get their way is to make the other person feel good or make the other people feel good, make the other party feel good. So they're much easier to manipulate other people because they come off as charming and sweet and nice and loving and things like that. But their deeper intention, their larger intention is something much worse than that, right? So my own situation, um, and I take full responsibility for everything that happened in my life, and I'm so thankful for all of the bad things that have happened and all the great things that have happened in my life. But my particular situation, once I started understanding personality types, I was able to distance myself from people like that, and I wasn't judging anyone. I was just simply understanding who they were as a person. So you can start to surround yourself with good people, and you can distance yourself from not so good people, right? So if someone's trying to manipulate you, you can't say that they're a good person or just flawed, and you should try to help them. Well, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor, so that's really not my responsibility. That's out of my realm of expertise to try to help someone with that. And you can improve these different personality types, right? So you can work on becoming less narcissistic, and you can work on becoming less Machiavellian, and you can work on the final one, which we haven't even touched on yet, psychopathy. I mean, that one's a tough one to lower. And actually, in some instances, psychopathy is a good thing, which I'll touch on in a minute. But in my own particular situation, once I started to understand different frameworks and how other people's minds are wired, and just how the human brain is wired, I had a mentor who, for 5.5, 6 years, literally continued to paint the picture of a compelling future in my mind, right? But he held control of that situation. So he got excited. It first started. There a ton of shit happened, man. I could talk about this forever. But it started off with myself as a baseball player, and he had so much control. He was in professional baseball for 35 years. He had so much control and was able to paint such a compelling picture of my future because he said, being in professional baseball, he said, "Oh, I know all these PMs, I know all these scouts. Um, let me talk to all these people." And he lied to me countless times, saying, "Oh yeah, I got you on this top prospect list. I talked to this GM about you. I talked to this scout about you. They're going to come out to your games. They're going to see your games." This was back when I was playing in college. They're going to come to your games. And I know all that shit was bullshit because he had a deeper intention. He wanted me to work at his facility when I was done playing in college, right? So he led me on to believe that, oh yeah, I'm going to help you get signed. I'm going to help you go into affiliated baseball. I'm going to help you play. And he painted this awesome picture. And I was so excited, and I was so ready for that to happen, right? And I didn't get drafted, so obviously I didn't get drafted because I wasn't good enough. Simple as that, right? I take full responsibility. And that's a whole other topic, a whole other discussion. 100% on me, right? I shouldn't have relied on anyone else, but him painting that picture kind of led me on to believe that. So that was really, that was a heartbreak. But then he led me on to believe that, oh, you didn't get signed to affiliated baseball? Okay, we'll get you signed with an independent team. So I worked out for an entire year, completely transformed my game because I started learning and I started understanding the game so much better than I did in college. And, because I actually started educating myself on different aspects of the game and how things are supposed to be done. Instead of, in college, I literally just would work. I didn't learn shit. I literally would just work hours and hours and hours and not, make marginal progress or plateau or even make myself worse because I was just reinforcing that habit. But then after I was done, after college, you painted this picture that, okay, yeah, you can play independent baseball, which is just a lower tier of baseball, but it gives you the opportunity to sign with an affiliated team. So he painted that picture in my head. And that was compelling too. Like, okay, I didn't get signed. I can still fucking make this happen. I can still live out my dream of playing. It's like for those of you that aren't familiar with the way baseball works. It's like just think of an arena football team or a lesser soccer league or a different professional league for basketball. So it's not affiliated with the MLB, but it's still professional baseball. So he painted the picture that I was going to go play there, leading me on the entire year while I was working out. While I was working in this facility, he played it out fucking nicely in his head. He said, "Oh yeah, just work at the facility for an entire year," and then, a week or two before I was set to go to spring training with an independent team, he goes, he literally talks to me. He calls me up and he says, "Hey, I want to talk to you about this. I don't think you should sign unless it's with the Atlantic League." And he knew he was in professional baseball for fucking 35 years. Professional baseball for 35 years. He knew 0.001% of people that have never been drafted, never played affiliated ball, or played in another independent league ever signed in the Atlantic League. He knew chances of signing in the independent league were slim to none because that's the top independent league. Most of those guys have played affiliated baseball. Most of those guys have played independent baseball in the past, and they have been promoted to the Atlantic League. He knew that. He fucking knew that. There's no way he did not know that. So it's such bullshit. And I didn't know that because I wasn't around. I didn't understand the tiers of independent baseball. I didn't understand how the whole scouting structure worked. I didn't understand how the contract and everything like that worked out. I truly believed I was good enough to play in the Atlantic League, but it's a business at the same time because they're not going to sign someone in the Atlantic League with all these other affiliated guys if they haven't proved themselves in another league or proved themselves in affiliated baseball. So that's how that whole system works. So he knew. He said, if you don't sign with the Atlantic League, just continue to work here and work on your coaching, which was a great avenue. I was really excited for that part of my life. And this all comes back to Machiavellianism because all of these situations, he manipulated me. He led me on to believe. And I take full responsibility for it all. I take full responsibility for it all because I wasn't educated enough or I didn't see the silver lining on the wall. I didn't see the shit on the wall that said, okay, what the fuck is going on? He's messing with you. He's messing with your brain. He's messing with your career so he can get what he wants. And all he wanted was for me to work at that facility so he can make more money. So he said, "Oh yeah, just continue to work on your coaching career. Stay at the facility for a few years, and you'll have a great future in professional baseball." And he led me on every couple of weeks or couple of months. He would say, "Oh, I just talked to this GM about you. He was really excited. Don't be surprised if you get a call from him, or I just talked to this hitting coach, or I just talked to this scout about you. They're really impressed. They really like what you're doing." But I never talked to these guys. So he was just showing me and trying to lead me on, saying, uh, trying to get my hopes up of shit that could happen. And I could have pursued a career in coaching, but his ultimate goal was to keep me at that facility as long as he could, to soak up every fucking ounce he could. And he had me to the point, he had me so fucking deep. And this is the person I looked up to my entire fucking life. I admired my whole life. He was like my childhood idol. I looked up to him forever because he was in professional baseball. That's where I wanted to be. He was around all these, big league players. That's where I wanted to be. And, just really, 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 really fucking manipulated me on and on and on and on and on. And eventually to the point, like, I got my master's degree while I was working there, and I was like, okay, like, working at a baseball facility, well, there's no promotion, there's no upgrade. I thought I'd try my hand in the corporate world for about 6 or 7 months, and obviously I hated that. Not because I think the corporate world's bullshit. It's just not for me. It's for some people. It's not for me, though. Just for a bunch of other reasons. So I tried to go back to the facility. Led me on to believe that, oh yeah, I'll give this facility to you. He said, I'm going to retire. I'll give this facility to you. And he sold it to another lady. Sold it to a lady. God bless her. I hope she kills it and does well with it. She's a softball background and all that good stuff. She's a good person. So I wish her nothing but the best of luck. But she is now in his class, and she is being manipulated in so many ways by him, so he can get, his, all he cares about is money. So he's just trying to suck up as much money from her as possible, and it's really a shame. It's really shitty. And that was the point where I started understanding different personality types, and seeing how he manipulated me, he manipulated other people that came into the facility, manipulating her, all for his own self-interest. And I didn't start to understand this until I started understanding personality types. So I know I got off on a long tangent, and I know from doing these talks, one thing I could do better is simply being more detailed and being more specific with some of the instances that go on, so you guys can actually feel, you guys can understand the stories behind it. Now I'm thankful for what he showed me baseball wise, because there's no doubt about it. He knows it's a fucking about baseball. He knows more so than most people. Being in professional baseball for 35 years, you know what's coming. So thankful to be around that and understand that and soak up so information. So super grateful to learn all of that information. Super grateful to understand personality types and understand, sometimes you have to go through a bunch of pain to really see a benefit on the other side of things. So I'm also grateful for that. I take full responsibility for everything that has happened. I never blame anyone. I don't expect anyone to give me anything. I don't expect anyone to give me a job, but to paint a picture in my head and get my hopes up and get my dreams up, that's on me too. So should have just. I wish I understand it sooner, but hopefully that's a lesson that other people can start to learn at an earlier age before they get fucked, for lack of a better term. I know that's not the best way of explaining things to kids watching this, but that's where I curse. So, and I didn't think that was good at first, but listening to Gary Vee, arguably one of the greatest entrepreneurs of all time, definitely one of the greatest entrepreneurs of my time, he said, "Oh man, I could make so much more money if I didn't curse, but then I wouldn't be my true authentic self." So, thanks Gary Vee for teaching me that lesson. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. You have the option to click on a different video or different audio. So, anyways, moving on. I know just kind of rambling on here. The final personality type is psychopathy, and this is only on the dark triad. You can do whatever test you want, but it's a good way to start understanding other people and understanding yourself. The last one is psychopathy. That's psychopath, and the reason I said it could be good earlier is because think about a police officer, think about someone in the military. You don't actually want the nicest person, the sweetest person, the most caring person um, in battle or to be defending you. You want someone with psychopathy. They are fearless. Um, they really have a lack of empathy. They don't really feel many things. Um, there's certain chemical reactions in their brain. When a gunshot goes off, for example, the test that they've done, when a gunshot goes off, they don't react, they don't respond to it. Most people would duck or get scared or something like that. People that are psychopaths literally just don't even respond, like serial killers and things like that. They can still people not even have any remorse or anything like that. So lack of empathy is like the biggest trait. So that's something from psychopath. So it can be used for obviously good if you're a soldier, for example, and you're going into battle, or it can be used for harm, obviously, if you are a serial killer or something like that. So, anyways, I know I rambled on here. Starting to understand personality types. There's a bunch of different tests. I suggest that you guys go out and start educating yourself because this applies to your relationships. This applies to your work life. This applies to your friends. This applies to everything. And if you want to have a greater quality of life, you got to surround yourself with good people. It's as simple as that. Everyone does that. You're the culmination. It doesn't matter who you listen to. A lot of people say you're a culmination of the 5 people you're closest with, or the 5 people you spend the most time with. I believe that to be true on a pretty high level. I don't think it's completely true, but it's definitely there's a lot of truth to it. I'll say that there's a lot of truth to it. I don't think it's 100% true, but there's a lot of truth to it. So once you start understanding personality types, you can start to distance yourself from other people. You can start to bring yourself closer to actual good people and good quality of life. So hope that helps someone out there. Um, Other than that, this is the 5th day of 67, and I'm learning a ton. I'm learning a lot. So no one might ever see this, but great learning experience for myself. So, start seeing it, start watching it, start listening to it. I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.